Welcome back to the Afternoon Snack Podcast. I'm Meredith, here as always with Alex and Ivy. And we have some news.
I mean, I think everybody already knows, but
I mean, maybe they don't, so why don't you tell them?
maybe if they somehow missed, they were scrolling so fast through Instagram that they missed it.
Yeah,
But we're engaged.
we are. You could show them your ring. Oh, wait. You don't wear it.
I have worn it.
Okay, what, like once?
I've worn it a few times. I literally spend my days at home and then I go to the gym. So where else is there to put it on?
You don't want to wear it at home?
I mean, no, I'm doing dishes and stuff, slaving over you.
Damn
doing
right.
laundry.
That's excellent.
Wife material. There you go.
I always knew that you were wife material.
I don't need to wear a ring for you to know
No, what?
that I'm wife material.
So loving and patient.
Yeah, and I show you every day through my acts of service.
Yes.
I think Meredith has done laundry once since we've been in this new condo. She's just it's one of those things she hates doing.
Twice. I've done it twice.
Okay. Each time, the whole process has taken her over a week.
Okay, well there's a process to laundry.
There is a process, but you seem to take much longer
No.
to get through the process.
I have my own process to doing laundry. And fellow laundry haters will understand this. And on occasion, part of the process means there's a clothes basket full of clean clothes that's been in the clean clothes basket for so long that you just wash them again. You're like, all right, I have to do this whole thing over. These are never going to be unwrinkled. But here's the process. It's a multi-day affair. And it starts by...
And it kills me.
Yeah.
But continue.
It starts by taking a laundry basket that is, to be honest, overfull. I don't do laundry when I'm supposed to do laundry. I do laundry when clothes are falling off the top of the heap.
I literally at one point she walked out to go to the gym. I was like, "Oh, I didn't know if you had any clean clothes to wear." That's how overflowing her laundry was.
Yep. So
and the reason I didn't do it is because we had gotten in an argument.
Right.
And I had put my foot down.
You were trying to scorn me.
I was.
I will run her out of clothes. You won't run me out of clothes. I have a lot of clothes.
Clearly.
Especially workout clothes.
Yes.
I just the outfits start getting weird.
getting on the B-roll clothes.
Yeah.
You haven't worn that before.
You're like, no, I have not.
The bras that aren't quite tight enough.
Yep. But I'm wearing it today.
You're sure that if you were to pick something up, your nipple would come out, but worth it, right?
It's okay. So you just keep the shirt on just in case. So anyways, laundry basket goes downstairs to the laundry room, goes in the wash, and usually honestly most of the time I dry it on the same day. Unless I happen to wash it overnight, which does happen. So anyways, in the wash, in the dryer, and then it it stays in the dryer for a day. We'll call it 24 hours. And then I get it out of the dryer, back in the laundry basket, into the bedroom.
Actually, no, it sat in the basement in the laundry room.
Well, that's only because I had to do 2 batches last time.
Oh, okay.
This is a single batch we're talking.
Okay.
So the laundry basket goes back into the bedroom, usually sits in the corner for a day. And then so that's day 3. On day 4, I get ambitious / I need to wear something that's in the clothes basket. So I dump all the clothes out on the bed to fold them. But this also happens to be about 5 minutes before we need to go somewhere. So I fold 1 or 2 things, find what I'm looking for, put it on, leave the clothes on the bed to be folded later in the day. Well, later in the day becomes bedtime. And so then I put all the clothes back in the basket and we repeat that. So that's we're on day 4 now. And then we repeat that process on day 5. And usually now day 5 is when I do fold the clothes, usually on day 5, but only because I can feel the negative
because at that
energy.
point you were starting to throw your soiled clothes into my basket and I was removing them
and putting them
to
on the
make
floor.
a point.
We've shared a clothes basket before, though, in the past.
I know,
I
but
thought I was allowed to do that.
not under these circumstances.
Okay. So, anyways, my laundry is a 5-day process.
Well, what happens when you put them, you fold them, and then what happens?
Oh, they go back in the basket. Yeah, that's right. So day 5 to 6 is there are folded clothes in the clothes basket, and dirty clothes are next to the clothes basket on the floor / maybe in Alex's hamper if she's not paying attention.
And then what day does it happen where you put them back in your drawer? Does that ever happen?
Day 7. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So
Meanwhile, I'm the type who does it within a 2-hour window. So it's like when I put them in the wash, it's 45 minutes. I am downstairs when the buzzer usually goes, move them into the dryer, take them out of the dryer, fold them immediately, and into my drawer.
Yeah, I've actually found you waiting in the basement for the dryer to, like, I'm like, Alex, that shit says 8 minutes left. And she's just standing in front of the dryer like a weirdo.
Sometimes I have to go down multiple times because I'm like, I jumped the gun.
Yeah.
But I like doing laundry. I like having clean laundry.
I like vacuuming. That's probably my favorite chore. Don't make a comment. I see you.
Would never know. Would never have known.
Sitting there. Yeah, so that's rude. Anyways, on that note, we're getting married. It's going to be great.
No one's surprised by this because we're already acting as if we are married.
I mean, okay, let's be honest here. Like, I think there are a lot of gays who would argue that we got engaged when we got a cat. That's like,
yeah,
you know, that's the proposal. I love you. We have a cat.
Yeah. And that was also you.
That was me. Yeah. You didn't even want her.
I did. I was hesitant. I was worried she would impact our sleep.
And did she?
She did.
She did. Yeah. And still does on occasion.
You can tell what you did to me with Ivy.
Oh. So when I was looking for Ivy, I had kind of scoured Canadian breeders for Siberians and landed on this one in Ontario, and just happened to be, this was like in October last year, just happened to be on her website, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to send her a note and see when they're like, if they're doing any litters around Christmas or around the New Year's we can get. And they had 2 litters that were both born in October. And one of them, there was like 6 kittens in one, 4 in the other. Ivy came from the 4, and I really liked the sound of her mom. And the breeder said there was 2 males, 2 females. The 2 females are left. Both the males have been spoken for. You can get on the waiting list. It's a $250 deposit, and then you pay the balance when you pick her up. And so without asking Alex, I went ahead and paid the deposit because I wanted to be first in line for the girls. Like I wanted to because I wanted a girl anyways. So I was like, may as well get the one that I want. And so I paid the deposit, and then we proceeded to debate the kitten for like a week, maybe more. And I never told her that. And so when she was finally like,
I think at one point I was like, don't do anything yet.
And I was like, no, I would never do that. I would never do anything without your permission. And then like 2 weeks later, when she finally was like, you know what? Yeah, it'll be nice to have her. Like, you know, we should get her. I was like, all right, I'll let the breeder know. And I didn't have to let her know anything because I had already paid the deposit on the kitten. So moral of the story, sometimes you just got to go for it.
Ask for forgiveness, not permission, I think is what they say.
I don't know. I could have not told you that story and you'd never even know.
Yeah.
But I thought it was funny. I had a good gut instinct about your decision on the cat. Yeah, so back to the real engagement story. Mm-hmm. When did you know that you wanted to get married to me? You can answer. That's a joke, but you can.
Okay.
Or you can answer it truthfully. Was it last Thursday?
To be honest, I never really thought about getting engaged. I always thought like, oh, we'll just get married one day.
Yeah.
Like I never really thought about the engagement, which is probably why you ended up asking me.
I have other theories about that, but.
Oh, you'll have to share them.
I will.
But when did I guess like probably about, I don't know. to be honest, like full on, like a year ago, I was like, I'll probably spend the rest of my life with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
There was that argument, and I think it was almost a year ago, where I was so mad at you for something. And like, we don't argue very often, but we do have, you know, our things.
No, Alex, we argue a lot.
Okay, we do.
Okay. Let's be realistic here.
All right. And then, because I keep bringing up these fights, but it's like, I don't know. Anyways, I said to her, I said, I don't even want you to mention the word marriage for at least a year. Because at that point, I think we had started talking about like eventually getting married.
Yeah, I don't even remember what that was about.
Me neither.
Yeah.
But
I was like, whatever. Alex, when she gets mad, she says things that are just so outlandish.
we all say stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that. Yeah, sure. You're just like, you're kind of difficult sometimes.
Yeah, and you aren't.
No, I'm super easy.
Anyways, I definitely thought probably like a year ago, and then definitely more recently, I was like, yeah, for sure. I mean, this is for sure.
Yeah.
And then like buying a house, I was like, I don't think I would want to buy a house with someone unless I knew that there was kind of like, it was a sure thing. Because I think one of our friends recently said, signing a mortgage, you sign more documents than you do when you get married.
Yeah.
Like it's more of it seems like more of a commitment.
Well, yeah, the bank's involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I felt totally comfortable with getting a house with you. So I was like, yeah, I'll say yes to the marriage,
Yeah.
the engagement.
That's super nice of you. Thank you. Yeah. I knew you'd never be the one to propose because, like, you can't swallow spending money on, like, a ring, you know, all at once. I mean, you're going to. I think you're going to. Are you buying me a ring?
Thinking about it.
You're thinking about it. All right. Yeah. I mean, like, I knew you probably would after the fact when you're, like, kind of on the hook for it.
Yeah.
/ you want to do it because you love me. But you wouldn't be the first to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. I don't know how it works. And I don't think there's necessarily a way that it has to work. But like now, I guess you don't have to do anything, but like, should I propose to you or should I just wait until the wedding and get you like a super nice wedding band that kind of like makes up for it? Not makes up for it, but it's like, I guess there's no real answer.
No, you can do whatever you want. That's kind of the benefit of this gay marriage thing is like, there are no standards to which we have to adhere.
No.
It can be whatever we want.
No. Speaking of what somebody mentioned to you, and that I thought that was an interesting like take. It was like they asked asked Meredith a question about like why we would want to get married, given that it's very much like a traditional heterosexual thing, which I don't even know. I guess traditionally it is, but like it's not really anymore, I don't think.
Yeah, no. And I think the question was framed around like, well, you're already gay and that's kind of like not the societal norm. So why would you want to adhere to this societal norm?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the answer to that is I'm not gay because I'm trying to not be normal. I'm gay because I'm gay. And so like, is it normal in the sense that, is it what you see in the media? Is it what you're exposed to, you know, on a regular basis, most often with couples? No, I guess it's not normal. Like it's not usual, but it's our normal. It's what's real to me and it's what's real to you. You know, in marriage, if you want it, it should be for everybody. There's like, I think basic human rights affords you the, you know, the right to be with the person that you love forever, whether that's, you know, bound by marriage or by something, you know, not as normal, quote unquote. But for me, it's like, you know, I've been married before and it was wrong in every sense of, you know, in the sense that like, it wasn't the person I wanted to be married to because it, you know, I'm gay. And now I actually have someone who I want to spend my life with and I want to be married to. I'm actually like excited to be married to you. And so why wouldn't I want that? We can make marriage whatever we want. We can make the wedding whatever we want. Like
Yeah.
we can make it into our own special brand of like lifelong bond, but it is something that I want for us.
Yeah. I just thought that was an interesting take. I didn't find it ignorant.
No,
by
not
any
at all.
means. I just was like, oh yeah. I mean, I didn't really think of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like if you love someone, regardless of whether it's a girl or a guy, it's like if you believe that if you believe in marriage or like just straight up want to get married for whatever reason, whether like it's, like religion or it's just what's, society does, like people like I don't know, you grew up, that's what you do, your parents. It's the same thing if you don't want to get married. Like if for some reason you don't, like, it doesn't matter if you're heterosexual or homosexual. It's like
you do what you want.
To me, it just never really occurred to me that people would think of it differently.
Yeah.
I guess, except for people who are against it, but they have different reasons for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Anywho, so when did you know you wanted to marry me, or ask me to marry you?
January the 21st of 2017.
Oh, that's a long time ago.
That's when I met you.
Oh.
In Miami. I guess I'd met you before that, but I was still married.
Yeah.
No. I don't know. You get like feelings about a person kind of early on in the relationship, and I certainly had those feelings. We were like, yeah, there's a lot that I like about this person, and so I guess I started having those feelings fairly early, and then like probably like I said sometime in 2019, I think, when things just in our life kind of started to solidify, like the business kind of like, things are becoming more intertwined, and not like that's a reason to get married or stay with someone, but I wanted that. I wanted more interconnection and involvement because I like wanted to be with you. Let's see. I started looking at rings probably maybe like December of last year. Yeah, for sure. I had to find your ring because you had taken a photo of it when you were with your mom picking out earrings or whatever at Calgary Jeweler.
Yeah.
And you had a picture on your phone. And before you knew that I had that picture, I had actually pulled it off your phone because I just saw you scrolling one day. So I pulled it off, and it's like, okay, I know they're at Calgary Jeweler. I know this is what the ring looks like. So now I have to go. I'm like, this will be easy. This is going to be no problem. It was really hard.
Well, the reason like I had found it, I was getting called to the bar, and my grandpa had wanted to buy me something for that. And so my mom suggested to get me some like blue earrings, because I used to have these like sapphire earrings, which I wore all the time, and I'd lost them, but they were like cheapos. Like they were just like, and so my mom and I had wanted like nice ones for a long time. So my grandpa was like, well, go like take Alex and buy them, like see what she wants. And you can actually they can order diamonds, and you can look at the different colors because there's different lightness and darkness to them. So I went, and they had ordered these like super dark ones, and I wanted them to be like more royal blue.
Oh, the sapphires, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
You said diamonds.
Oh, yeah, sorry, the sapphire. I wanted it to be like a very blue.
Mm-hmm.
And as we were like waiting, I was just looking at rings, and I'm not a jewelry person at all. Like I have like very basic jewelry, like Tiffany's kind of stuff.
Who got you that?
My mom, my dad, Meredith. Yeah, I have quite the collection of like, I really like Links of London too, but they kind of are more of a casual jewelry, like bracelets and things. Yeah, Meredith got me some nice stuff. I bought her earrings once.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was just looking at rings, and this one like popped out at me. And so I was like, wow, I really love that ring. It was kind of like, there's something different about it. So I pulled it out, and then like my mom was like, well, put it on your finger. And this was like before I even had thought about like getting engaged or married to you. Cause it was to me, things were serious, of course, but it was just not on the radar. And so I took a picture for like,
For later.
for later in case, you know, I ever needed to let you know what kind of ring I wanted. But you're sneaky.
I am sneaky. So I perused all of the the jewelry makers on their website and kind of just started clicking through and found this one designer called Noam Carver. He's a Canadian designer. And I was like, oh, this is going to be the one. It just had they have a look to them. And I just went through until I found the setting, and I was like, all right, this is it. Yeah. And saved that information for a rainy day. So yeah, where are we going with that?
When you had the ring. When you started looking.
Yeah, so I started looking maybe back in December, and then I don't know, like COVID happened, and we were like kind of just together a bunch.
And you're like, if we can make it through this,
yeah, and
we can make it through anything.
So I actually bought it in the end of April, and then it was delivered in the end of May. And I always had and I wasn't necessarily planning on buying it then, but I just kind of started talking with the guy, like the owner of the jewelry store, and you know, I guess he's a good salesman because I bought it and sat on it for some months. I always had the fall in my head, and then what are you doing with your headset? Again, you left the mic down. It's like watching a monkey trying to figure out how to crack a coconut. Good job.
Thanks.
Are you just going to wear it like that?
They squeeze my ears.
Yeah, you're very sensitive. You can slide this thing up and down and make it looser, you know.
I know. It's not the looseness of over the head. It's like the squeezing of the ears. Mm-hmm. This is better.
Okay. Yeah, so I bought it and I had the fall planned, and we were going to go to Jasper for this like astronomy festival called the Dark Sky Festival, because Jasper is like the largest dark sky preserve in North America, I think, which basically means they cut out a lot of the artificial light that makes the stars hard to see. And yeah, the northern lights are usually down south that time of year, so it's pretty spectacular. But anyways, because of COVID, a lot of the events were canceled or scaled way back. And so I kind of wanted to do something because it's expensive. Like Jasper's expensive for sure. We were going to stay at the Fairmont. And so I kind of proposed that we do something else because the events were canceled.
And because I completely lost it.
Well, no, you lost it in the process of me saying we should do something else. Like, look, like, why don't we not go to Jasper for 4 days? We could do like Fairmont Lake Louise.
I think it all started with me being like, wait, why are we going to Jasper for 4 days if all of this stuff is getting canceled?
Yeah, and
That's how it started,
I can't be like, look, Alex, we're going because I'm going to propose to you. Okay?
So meanwhile, I'm just like, what are you thinking?
And I need multiple days to make sure the weather's all right. So that's why we're going. So anyways, yeah, that actually ironically turned into one of our larger fights in a while.
So Meredith fled the city.
I did.
She rented a car, fled the city, and ended up going to Moraine Lake, which was apparently to scope out the new place. Although I don't think you were going to scope it out.
I wasn't going to scope it out. I've been like itching to go to Moraine Lake for sunrise, like forever. But it's such a chore because you have to stay in Banff. You have to get up at 4:30 in the morning and then drive an hour plus to like the Lake Louise area. So I was like, you know what? Alex is never going to do that. She's never going to get up at 4:30 in the morning with me because like she'll have to get up. She won't be able to eat. She won't poo. And then I'll hear about that for the rest of the day. So I just took myself on a day trip because we were like in an argument, and why not? I wanted to go to the mountains. Did that, came back. You're still super mad at me. We resolved it. And I was like, you know what? Moraine Lake was awesome. And so over the next couple weeks, we kind of just like casually, you indulged me and like, let's plan a day. Because I love the mountains. I'm not from this area. And like, I love the mountains.
Literally every week. We should go to the mountains this week.
Because Banff's like an hour away. It's like a place that people travel from all over the world to go to. And we can literally make it into a day trip. I love it.
But like I love mountains too. I grew up skiing in them. I love going in the summer to mountain bike. I love going skiing, especially now that we're back into it. Like Meredith likes going and staying in hotels and like just driving around and going for breakfast and looking at shops, which is totally
And like
not my
just
thing.
looking at the mountains. Like I just like to be in them.
Yeah. So like she's like proposing like, let's just go to Lake Louise and do nothing. I'm like, that sounds horrible.
I mean, that sounds good to me.
Yeah. Anywho.
Yeah. So we planned like a day in Banff and or no, we planned an afternoon drive to Moraine Lake. If you're not familiar with the geography, it's an hour to Banff and then another hour to Moraine Lake, which is just beside Lake Louise. And or Louise, sorry, I always say that wrong. Lake Louise. So the plan was to drive to Moraine because I wanted to see it in the afternoon anyways. And then I would propose there. We'd drive back to Banff, spend the night in a hotel in the like city center, and then have a nice dinner, come back, maybe like poke around in Canmore on the way back. So all week I'm checking the weather. It's just like a bluebird day at Lake Louise. So I'm like stoked. It's going to be great. And then as we get closer to Thursday, I'm checking the forecast and it's like partly cloudy with chance of rain. And I'm like, and like weather here is just super unpredictable. So I was kind of hoping that it ended up being sunny. You know, when you look on the weather app and it's like there's the sun, but there's also a cloud with rain. You're like, I don't understand this. What is that forecast?
That's the weather that you get here.
Mm-hmm. So we're driving up and it's like perfectly sunny, perfectly blue in Calgary. You know, some clouds, Canmore, totally fine. Some clouds. Get to Banff, totally fine in Banff. But it's like as soon as you got out of Banff, it was just like clouds. So as we were getting like closer to Moraine, it was like kind of drizzling and like super gray. And I was actually like, I was waiting for an Alex Parker meltdown. I was waiting for it. Because it seemed to me, I'm like, I could absolutely see why she might be sitting there thinking, why the heck are we driving an hour past Banff when it's clearly raining?
And that's happened before.
Are you talking about Kananaskis?
Yeah.
Don't you remember? It was raining. I was like, look, let's just sit in the car for a minute.
But I did have a meltdown.
You had a meltdown.
Unwarranted. It was warranted and then it was unwarranted.
I think if it's ever unwarranted, it's just unwarranted. We have a meltdown because we're going to the Nordic spa. It's kind of rainy. She's like, this is stupid. We're not even going to be able to do it because it's raining, like thundering a little bit. We sit in the car for like literally 5 minutes. Clouds go away. Sun comes out. Perfect day at the Nordic spa. Completely unwarranted meltdown.
All right.
But that's what I was expecting. But you kept it together. Why did you keep it together?
I think because of what had happened with the Jasper trip. Like, I just was like, you know what? I told her I was going to indulge her trip to the mountains. And like we also got a new camera for the business. And Meredith has been obsessed with taking photos.
Okay, but like I like cameras.
I know, and I'm just not. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna let her like go up there and do what she wants. Like, I'm gonna be a good person. I'm gonna be a good girlfriend, and at least we're not spending like an exorbitant amount of money in Jasper when we can't even do anything because it's COVID.
Yeah.
So I'll let her do this. And it was quite chilly when we got out of the car. So
yeah.
Luckily, I brought 2 sweaters.
And you bundled up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we get to Moraine. I think we sat in the car for maybe like 20 minutes while the rain kind of died down. Like luckily, like the fortunate thing about that is people kind of were leaving. Like the clouds and the rain. Like Moraine's usually fairly busy if it's open. You can't get in at all in the mornings. In the afternoons, it's just like people come and go. So it kind of the crowd thinned out. But it was cold. It was very cold, and it was a little windy and like some kind of like blowing drizzle type rain. But like fairly clear. You can see like the visibility was still good around the lake.
It was still beautiful.
Yeah, it was
actually kind of cool because the clouds. It was kind of misty.
Yeah, yeah. It was a neat way to see the lake.
On the way up though, I was like, I don't know what we were talking about, like finances or something. As I always like to bring up finances.
Yes,
you love it, especially right before bed. Anyways, I was like, so I'm thinking like, we'll probably get married in the next year or two. And I was like, right? And you were like, yeah.
But in my head, I'm like, please shut the fuck up. I was like, was that like some sort of weird soft proposal?
I have no idea. But we've talked about getting married,
Yeah.
or like what our wedding would look like, or whatever,
Yeah.
potentially if we. But I always say, like, if we ever get married.
Yeah. This was more than that, though. It was like, so I think we'll probably get married.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this is good. But on the plus side, like, I was like, if she had any idea at all what was about to happen, she probably would not have said that.
Yeah.
So that was good confirmation anyways. I think I diffused that conversation well enough.
And then also on the way up, Meredith was like, yeah, so I've got this, like, this new app on my phone.
Oh, yeah. So I wanted to take photos and a video. So I had, and just to like have backup. So I can get the camera to take photos on an interval. So like every 3 seconds, I think. And then, but I wanted to, like, just in case the photos didn't turn out, I also had my iPhone with the tripod. But I'm like, she's going to think it's super weird if I'm like, let me just set up my iPhone to video nothing. Like, that would have been super suspicious. Why do you need your iPhone set up when you have a nice camera? So I made up a very elaborate story because I knew she'd have absolutely no idea what I was talking about. I was like, oh, I got this app on my phone it's gonna like, it connects to the camera through Wi-Fi, and then it's gonna meter the light through my iPhone because an iPhone has better light metering abilities than this like fairly high-end Sony. She was like, oh, neat.
No, you're like, but I'm not going to explain it to you in too much detail because I know you don't care. I'm like, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah. So that worked out perfectly.
Or I was like, don't care at all.
Yep. So that took care of that. That's not at all what I was doing, like I said.
Yeah.
And you even came up and looked, and I think it was like just had the video going. I was like, shit, she's going to see.
I was like, so what does this thing do? And you were like, see on the camera those like stripes?
Oh, yeah.
That's what it's doing. And I was like, oh, all right.
I was like, good one. So easy. So, yeah, we get up there. And it's like super chilly. And then I went from being like 0 out of 10 nervous to like 10 out of 10 nervous. And I was like, okay, I have this ring. It's in a box. I have to get it out of the backpack without her seeing me do it. And I was like, just go stand over there. Don't look at me. I'm going to take some pictures of you to make sure this is like good. Because we were trying to get like a picture together by the lake. I managed to get it into my pocket.
I mean, at that point, I was on to you.
You were?
Yeah.
You didn't tell me that.
You were shuffling around in your bag an awful lot.
Why didn't you tell me that until just now?
I mean, I was going to keep it a secret. Didn't want to make you feel bad.
I mean, like, I was like Akko Taco to the max. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. It's a miracle I didn't knock the cameras over.
Yeah.
So anyways, I had this very elaborate speech planned out, but it was a little bit too cold for that. And so I did it. I think I said, so about that wedding. Very romantic.
Do you want to?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And then you gave me the ring, or then it was open, but you didn't touch it. And I was like, do I? And you're like, you take it. And I was like, I take it? You're like, yeah.
I was really worried. My hands are really cold from being out of my pockets.
Yeah.
And I was really worried if I took it out of the box, I would drop it. Because like
Yeah.
my hands were super cold. So that was, but you know, we get to do whatever we want with our proposal.
So what normally happens?
Normally the guy puts it on the
That's
girls.
what I thought.
Yeah.
I was kind of waiting for it. But
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? All right.
I was like, you take it. It's your ring. This is your party. I'm just here for it.
Yeah.
I didn't kneel. It wasn't safe. Like it was kind of a rocky terrain.
And you were already below me anyways.
Yeah,
So had you kneeled, you may have.
And toppled over and it
Yeah.
was wet. Plus like I was never going to kneel anyways.
Like, that would have been a great video.
Of falling
But-
with the ring. Yeah.
But actually, after you did that, I was looking down. I'm like, it was kind of like cliff-like.
Yep.
So I was like, that was a risky move by you. But
Yeah.
luckily, I'm not the type to faint.
Otherwise, it would have been faint, fall, potentially to your death.
Yeah.
That's not that high. You would have definitely
I don't
broken.
know. You would have like tumbled down that rock face.
Yeah, you would have broken bones.
For sure.
For sure. Concussion. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a good proposal story, though. Yeah. How did you break your collarbone? Well, my girlfriend proposed. I fainted. Yeah, so that's kind of that. And then we, you feel kind of weird after you do it. I kept staring at Alex because I was like, what's up, fiance? We're not going to use that word.
I don't think I've used it once.
No, I jokingly said it earlier,
Yeah.
and it felt like a joke. I mean,
I'd be okay with it.
You're fine.
If you wanted to, but
it's too like, I don't know. We're gonna do what we want.
yeah.
Maybe, but I don't think I would introduce you as like, this is my fiance, Alex.
I don't even, and this is partly just because I'm weird, and it depends on like how, I don't know, it depends on who I'm introducing you to. Like, if I'm at my parents' golf course and it's like, an old person, I'm not gonna be like, this is my girlfriend Meredith, just because like, I mean, I still feel a little uncomfortable with that.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I wish I wasn't, but I don't think I would be like, oh, this is my fiance. I'm always just like, this is Meredith. Or like my partner Meredith.
Which I'm totally fine
business
with.
partner. We have a company together.
Yeah, we are 50-50 on tactic. Lifestyle, you've probably heard of it. Uh-huh.
We live together for business purposes.
It just works out better. We split a home gym, and we do have a cat. Yeah, so TBD if Alex re-proposes to me. I don't know.
I mean, I asked you if you wanted me to, if you want a ring. But I don't think I would feel comfortable like just going and picking a ring without your... I mean, you got it good. You basically knew what I wanted.
Oh, for sure. I would not have picked one out.
Yeah. But...
Yeah. So what about the wedding? What's the deal there?
I don't know. Everyone asks me that. I think for me it's hard to think about having a wedding because I'm not really interested in having a wedding with people having to wear like masks and having... I don't know how many people I want at my wedding, but I don't want to have to like cut people out because of COVID. I just don't.
Yeah.
So I think I'd rather wait to get what I want. Hopefully that's sooner rather than later.
Like in an ideal scenario, what is it?
Ideal?
Like? Mm-hmm.
I love the month of September. So
is it because it's your birthday month?
No, it's not. I've always loved September. It like signifies... Everyone talks about January being the new year, and it is. But September to me has always felt like the new year. Because that's when you go back to school, you start a new grade, or like, for me it was like, you start, you start university and in a different place. I started law school. Like every year it was like a new start. Mm-hmm. And then, September kind of signified like the start of the ski season. Like you start dryland training and stuff.
Yeah.
I always have loved September, and I just love fall. I like it's not super hot, but it's not cold yet. It's like fall. I don't know. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
So I would like to get married in the fall. That would be ideal. But I mean, I'm not the type to be like super picky.
Yep.
So I would be okay with something else if need be.
Not the dead of winter.
I don't know. I was actually, because we were looking at outdoor photos in the mountains today, outdoor wedding venues, just to get an idea. And there were some like winter shots, and there was a woman with like a white... She looked like Red Riding Hood. Yeah. But with a white... It was like white. And I was like, wow. That looks cozy.
Yeah. You can do some cool stuff in the winter. I just don't think you would be able to warm up if we went outside for photos.
Yeah. You would have to... You wouldn't be able to do the ceremony outside. It would be photos only. Mm-hmm. And you never know what kind of day you're going to get either.
It could be like a blizzard day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like September is more of a safe bet.
Yeah. And for people like driving in from out of town, it would be a little rude to make them, drive into the mountains.
Like early September would be ideal for people coming. Because we'll have a lot of people from outside of town.
Even October would be okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyways, ideally September, October in the mountains. Yeah. Next year.
And we wouldn't want it too cold because Ivy's likely going to be the ring or the flower girl.
Is she? She's never been outside of our house before.
We wouldn't want to get her lost in the snow.
We'll have to leash train her.
Yeah.
Okay. This is news to me also.
I just thought that would be cute.
Okay.
Or would it be too much?
No, it would be. I absolutely love that. Okay. We just have to like get her prepared.
That would be like the ultimate like stereo.
What, your cat is in the wedding? Yeah, but at least she's pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going to wear a dress or a suit?
A dress. Yeah. I'm not sure that I'm into the suit thing. No issues. Like I know
I feel like
people who
people who wear suits are like that's like their style before the wedding.
Oh, yeah. Like it's not like I'm wearing a suit in my wedding because I'm trying to be like
I mean, it's
whatever.
possible.
Maybe. And
maybe they want to have somebody who's wearing a suit and someone who's wearing white.
yeah.
But like most of like one of my clients just got married and she looked freaking awesome in a suit, but like that suits her.
It
No
suits
pun
her.
intended. No, but like, you know, it was like
Yeah.
it would be weird. I don't know her that well in person, but there's certain people where it's like that's
It just makes sense.
It's natural for
Yeah.
them.
For sure.
I could see myself in a suit.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty snazzy and cool.
Hey,
but I also
can be.
could see myself in a dress.
Yeah.
Just have to get the right one.
Yes.
The right cut.
Sized for a football player.
Yeah.
Very wide. So, I don't know. Yeah, it was super exciting. I have told a few people that it's the best day of my life so far. Oh, wait, you haven't told people that? Oh.
No one's asked me specifically. That's why.
Awkward. I mean, no one was like, hey, is that the best day of your life? They're like, how do you feel? And I say, it was the best day of my life. What do you say to that question? How do you feel? Engaged.
I say I feel really happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's big. We're like, you know, we have the house and.
Yeah. And I've told you before, like, and I said it on my Instagram post, but for me, I think because when I was in the closet, I had actually at some point come to the conclusion, I'm like, it's all right. I'm just going to like be like single forever. Like, or I'm just going to marry a man and have like a life with them. And like, I'll still be happy because I'll have things. I'll still like have what I want, you know, certain things. But I never really like imagined like falling in love and like being like, I never imagined an engagement or like a wedding as a kid. Like I just never did. Even like finding somebody that I like, my person just didn't until maybe very recently. And so, yeah, I guess it's not like a dream come true. It was like a pleasant surprise almost.
Yeah.
You know, like a very big pleasant surprise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that.
So I was saying to you after, I was like, well, I'm really happy. Like not just because of you, but because I found somebody that like I want to really like commit to and like build a life with.
Yeah.
So
that's sweet. Are you getting kind of watery?
You're getting watery. And the answer is, did we cry? And I mean, we got a little teary-eyed.
No, you cried.
Did I?
Yeah, you for sure did.
Maybe like a drop came from my eye.
Look, I asked you if you wanted to get married. I said, what about this wedding? And you couldn't even say a word. You just had to nod.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, for sure. You were like nodding and crying. And then you may have said a word after.
No, I was not crying like that hard.
Look, like that's how I remember
okay,
it. So
you can have your version in your head.
I mean, I have video evidence.
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
But no, overall, it was a really cool experience and a great day. The best day.
I hope everyone gets to experience that or similar.
And then to top it all off, we got free drinks at the restaurant. It came with the booking at the hotel restaurant. And then we had salmon tartare. And it came with fried potato skins. But like they were big. They were like giant potato chips. So good.
Yeah, the dinner was
so
great.
Good.
It was a nice surprise.
Yeah. If you're ever in Banff, we highly recommend Farm and Fire. That's where we went.
Yeah.
It was a great experience.
Super good.
Anywho.
All right.
That was great.
Yeah.
So thank you.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Yeah.
Let's do it again.
Yeah, let's do it again. But bigger.
Bigger. Okay. Yeah, I was joking. Like, it's a good thing I bought the ring back in, like, April because, like, with the house and stuff, I don't know. Like, if there was, like, a big chunk of money that came out, not only would it have ruined the surprise when our mortgage broker had to be like, hey, what's this big chunk of money that left your account? I'd have to be like, oh, I don't know. I moved that into a U.S. I don't know. I'd have to make up some story.
Yeah, and then have to call her in secret later.
Yeah, but also the bank probably wouldn't have liked that very much. So.
No. Yeah, the houses are a big deal too, but
Yeah.
that's for another podcast.
Podcast about. We should do a cribs episode.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
A YouTube episode.
Yes.
So stay tuned for that.
All right. Thanks for listening. We will do some more of these coming up. Do you have anything you want to say?
No. Thanks for listening.
Yeah. Follow us along at Afternoon Snack Podcasts. You probably know our personal Instagrams. You can Google our names. And Tactic Nutrition. Talk to you guys later.